Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome all of you to the wonderful world of mathematics. It's always a joy to be here with you guys, and today I hope that you will be able to learn some things about what we call strategic problem solving in algebra. And our focus is going to be in solving algebraic problems. And we are going to start today by examining one important problem very shortly. Today is the what?
13.
The what?
The 13th.
Very good. You are so brilliant. 13th day of February 2000 and what? 2016. Thank you very much. All right, so we are proceeding right now to begin to examine the objective. So that will be focused on strategic problem solving in key concept of algebraic equation. So we're going to start off with a very straightforward problem in what we call linear algebraic equation. Problem of this form, -6 into 3x minus 4 minus 10 x equals 8x minus 1. So that is our starting point for this problem. So we're going to put the operational word solve. Keyword solve. That means we're going to eventually solve for x. Our goal is to solve for x. To isolate x and get a value for x. So what will be my first step in this effort? What will be my first step? First step, someone say divide. What? Huh?
Times 3x.
That 3x. Whose voice is this? The voice of Ms. Johannes of Houston, Texas. So use what we call distributive what? Property. Multiply -6 by 3x and -6 by -4. That's the first step. So first step, strategy. Okay, this is our strategy here. Strategies we are using for solving this problem. First step is use distributive property. Use distributive property. Okay, so we are using distributive property. How do we use distributive property here? We must take -6 multiplied by 3x, -6 multiplied by -4. If you have A into B minus C, the property says take A and multiply B and take A and multipy B. So this becomes what? A times B minus A times C. So this is the same property we're going to use here. That's what we're using, the distributive property. So what's negative 6 times 3x?
Negative 18x.
Negative 18x. Thank you very much. What is negative 6 times negative 4?
Positive 24.
Positive 24. That will be positive 24. And what will be the next thing I'm supposed to do?
Bring down 10x.
Bring down the negative 10x. Thank you very much. Again, what will be the next thing?
Combine terms.
Okay, well, very soon we're going to do that. Still bring down this guy on the right side of the equation. So on the left side, the next strategy is to combine like terms. Okay, we are going to combine, so this is the first thing with this second step, or step number 2. The second strategic step is to combine like terms on the left side of the equation. Combine like terms. So that means bring things that are alike together. That is what it means to combine like terms. Notice on the left side we have negative 18x and negative 10x. So we are supposed to combine these terms together. So what is negative 18x minus 10x? What would that be?
Negative 28x.
Negative 28x, thank you. Negative 28x, thank you. And then what do we do next? Bring down 24. And that will equals what?
8x minus 1.
8x minus 1, thank you. Okay, so what will be our next step?
Move, subtract, negative. Subtract 8x from both sides.
Subtract 8x from both sides, excellent. Ms. Johannes of Houston, Texas, thank you so much again for that positive contribution. So we are going to subtract 8x from both sides, or we can also move 8x to the left side and what? Move the 24 to the right side, right? So we can move the 8x to the left side of the equation and move the 24 to the right side of the equation. Why do we want to do this? We want to bring the variables together on the left side and bring the numbers together on the right side. So that means we're going to have what? Negative 28x minus 8x equals what?
Negative 24.
Negative 1 and then negative 24. Whose voice is this? Who said negative 24? What's your name? Angela of Houston, Texas. Thank you so much. So we have this fact. So notice when you move something across the equal sign, the sign must change. The sign must change. So that's why when you move the 8x to the left side, it becomes negative 8x because you went from positive to negative. Anytime any entity crosses the equal sign, the sign of that entity must change. Be it a number or be it a variable number, it must change signs. All right, so what is negative 28x minus 8x?
Negative 36x.
Negative 36x. Whose voice is this?
Me.
What's your name, please?
Rocio.
Rocio of Houston, Texas. Thank you very much. Negative 36x. Brilliant, brilliant student here in the wonderful world of mathematics. So negative 36x equals what?
Negative 25.
Negative 25. Thank you. So what's the next thing we're supposed to do? We continue this problem by doing something to what? Both sides of what? The equation, right? What do we do to both sides of the equation? What am I supposed to do to both sides of the equation?
Divided by negative 36.
I am going to divide both sides by negative what?
36.
Whose voice is this? Miss Johannes and her friend, Mariah.
Cherry.
Not quite. Now, I am going to divide both sides now by negative 36. Notice whatever goes with the x, that is what you divide both sides by. Don't forget that. So notice at this point, I can now cancel out this guy and cancel out this guy. So I now will have x by itself, so x will be equal to what? Negative, negative becomes what?
Positive.
Positive. That positive 25 over what?
36.
Over 36. Okay. So x equals 25 over 36. Is there any way we can simplify this further? No. Why can't we not do that? Because this guy on top is what type of number? What type of number do we have on top here? That number is odd number. And the guy below is what? What kind of number do we have? Even number. So there is no possibility of a common factor between 25 and 36. So consequently, this is our solution for this problem. Okay? So, step by step. First, we use the distributive property. And then, the next thing, we had to combine like terms. The next thing we did was, when we got to this point, we have to bring the variables together on the left side of the equation and bring the numbers together on the right side of the equation. And while doing that, we know that as we move things across the equal sign, the sign of that quantity must change. If it's negative, it becomes positive. If it's positive, it becomes negative. The moment you move something across the equal sign. So think of the equal sign as a bridge. As a bridge. And when that bridge is crossed, the sign of that entity must change. Okay? And finally, we're able to come here and divide the negative 36x by negative 36, and we did the same thing on the right side. Divided negative 25 by negative 36, so that we can isolate x and get x by itself. So this is the final what? Solution.